So Pakistan, over the years, when Imran Khan was the Prime Minister, had received a lot of state gifts, for instance, from Saudi Arabia, from UAE, from several of the wealthiest countries, and several countries, particularly from the Middle East. This included different other kind of relics and artifacts as well. Now, as a matter of policy of the government of Pakistan or any government particularly, this Toshakhana is kept as a property of the government. This is not the property of the individual. In this particular case, the Prime Minister of Pakistan at that particular time, Imran Khan. What Imran Khan actually did was that he took all these goods from Toshakhana and actually sold it at much cheaper rates. For instance, luxury cars, including BMW or Mercedes, were in fact sold at much cheaper prices, including watches as well. And many of these vehicles or other artifacts or gifts were kept by the family of Imran Khan and his close friends, associates, and politicians. Now, this case has been on for some time. The Pakistani authorities and NAB have been investigating Imran Khan for corruption, and he has been pronounced guilty today. He has been pronounced as a dishonest man by the judge in this Islamabad court, and he's been sentenced to 3 years in prison, 1 lakh rupees fine, and finally he has been disqualified from active politics for a period of 5 years. But before I end my initial monologue, I'll tell you, Kartikeya, that this is just what is visible to the naked eye. The reality of the matter.
That is why you are here in my show, Aditya. That is why you are here in my show, to give the story. You're not here only for the text. Aditya Raj Kaul is always there for the context. That is why you are there in my show, na?
Right, Kartikeya. So whatever I spoke till now was the legality of it. Was what is being presented before the public of Pakistan or the global community or the international media, and for narrative building. But the reality of the matter is that yesterday it was Nawaz Sharif, today it is Imran Khan. It is the Pakistan army, it is the GHQ Rawalpindi which is trying to fix a person which is now standing opposite them. A few years back, the same Imran Khan was a puppet of the Pakistan army. The same Imran Khan was being referred as the selected prime minister because Pakistan army had backed him. Perhaps they had fixed the election as well in favor of Imran Khan. Today, no doubt, Imran Khan has considerable ground support in Pakistan. He has considerable support outside Pakistan, perhaps a lot of funding as well. And we know at a particular point of time, he was referred to as Taliban Khan as well. And we know what happened in Afghanistan, etc., etc. I don't need to go into it. But today, after the incident that happened just a few weeks ago, and the Pakistan army faced the biggest embarrassment ever in the we realize that Imran Khan is now in the dock, and Pakistan army had to take their sweet revenge because the embarrassment of public entering GHQ Rawalpindi, breaking items, entering ISI headquarters, entering the Lahore Corps Commander's residence, those embarrassing visuals of Lahore Corps Commander's house being gutted, and then a few weeks later we see the Lahore Corps Commander being suspended and transferred. So Pakistan army could not tolerate this embarrassment, and hence we see this kind of an action against Imran Khan. This was inevitable. It was inevitable. Anybody a few weeks ago could have, actually guessed. In fact, we have debated on News9 Live ad nauseum that Imran Khan will be disqualified, and that will pave the way for the elections in Pakistan. And perhaps the next Prime Minister would be Nawaz Sharif. Finally, after this, we might see the entrance of Nawaz Sharif into Pakistani politics. He'll return to Pakistan from exile, and we'll see elections being declared. A temporary Prime Minister, somebody would be declared from the PMLN, and finally we'll see elections by the end of the year or early next year.
Okay. So basically, Pankaj, Imran Khan crossed the red line. Basically, he crossed the red line. Pankaj. I think my voice is not audible to Pankaj. So Aditya, I think Imran Khan crossed the red line, but previous prime ministers have also crossed the red line. They have been rehabilitated. Nawaz Sharif got rehabilitated. If you look at the history of Benazir Bhutto, she also got a second chance. So rehabilitation in Pakistani politics does take place.
See, many in Pakistan feel that the so-called cause of Imran Khan was very much genuine. But nobody understands the same Imran Khan was the puppet of the Pakistan army. He was in bed with Pakistan army. He did everything against the same democratic principles, against the same constitution, against the same system that would have restored some kind of order in Pakistan. And when he was on the other side, he was being, tackled by the Pakistan army. He realized the consequences and started this, muhim against the Pakistan army, saying that, we need non-interference of the deep state in the elections and the democratic processes and systems of Pakistan. And the reality of the matter is that if it was a genuine campaign, Imran Khan would have led a political dialogue with PMLN, with other political parties of Pakistan, and put the Pakistan army back to their barracks. That did not happen. So the reality is that Pakistan army is teaching a lesson to Imran Khan, and Imran Khan has himself jumped into this pond. He isn't somebody who doesn't realize the consequences. He isn't somebody who hasn't been there for years together in the Pakistani politics. He was a heartthrob cricketer of Pakistan and then a Pakistani politician. And today, easily, a politician who has the best kind of support. If genuine elections are happening today in Pakistan, Imran Khan will be the Prime Minister yet again. But today, yet again, history is playing the same vicious circle that has happened in the past. He indeed crossed the red line and is being taught the lesson. We perhaps will be joined by the Pakistani panelists, and they will give us a more clear perspective of what they feel, what they experience, and is this a deja vu moment for them that they have seen in the past as well. But as of now, it will be interesting to see how Imran Khan is kept inside a prison. Is this the end of the PTI, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf? And when exactly will the elections happen? And who exactly will the Pakistan army bat for this time?
Both the parties, Benazir Bhutto's party, Mr. Sharif's party, they are dynastic in nature. So someone from the family can take over and provide stability. When we talk about Imran Khan, it's a different kettle of a fish. He goes out of the window, then we do not know who takes over the party. But the question I have, Pankaj, is which I wanted to ask, that one, the red line has been crossed, and secondly, he's going to jail. Unlike Nawaz Sharif, who could go to Riyadh, unlike Pervez Musharraf, who went to Dubai, no such exit was made available for Imran Khan. Why? This is the difference. Even Benazir Bhutto was outside.
Right, Karthik, if you look at this particular aspect of the curious case of Imran Khan as it being portrayed as of now, for him not to leave Pakistan has two specific reasons. First, he might have seen all the examples that sooner or later you have to return to your country. What happened to Nawaz Sharif? Even in 2018, he was not keeping well. Right from the hospital, he made a jaunt to Pakistan. He was arrested, tried to garner that support. Could not work well, then later on moved on again on health grounds. But this time around for Imran Khan, that's point number one. Point number two is that Imran Khan had tasted the prime ministerial chair only once, and he had time on his side. So for him, time and support both. A very active, thriving political base in Pakistan. That was something that was, the hallmark of Imran Khan. You would see him wearing his sunglasses out in the, the sea of people. It was only last year in 2022 when your stray bullet hit him in the leg in that procession where in that public rally where he was injured. That was the time when the first actual, hit on him, the first sense of fear dawned upon him. But then that was too late because he had to make a comeback. He had to prove his mettle. He had to prove his salt. कि हाँ मैं आ रहा हूँ पाकिस्तान. नए पाकिस्तान की बात हुई थी 2018 when he came to power. Obviously, as Aditya mentioned,
Naya Pakistan was the word. Naya Pakistan.
Exactly. And you and I remember, were there in the newsroom, and everyone was wanting actually, for Imran Khan to come into power. Now this time around, as an Achilles heel, this Toshakhana case, although there are hundreds of cases against him, but selling the gifts, the state's gifts, that is something which would belittle him in the public eye. His arrest, 3 years of jail term, Karthikeya, I don't see him completing that term, because tables turn quite easily. I mean, Nawaz Sharif by all means would be back. November, most probably Pakistan would be going to election. There are so many things happening. Imran Khan with his, changing sides with the army. Once he started lambasting as the army wanted him to lambast India, he was all okay. But when the tables turned on him and things were not correct between him and the army, he started praising India. And now we also have a Shahbaz Sharif who is making overtures that, hey, let's talk to India. So, you have to look at it from that macrocosmic point of view. There is a part of India, there is part of, the Pakistani internal assessment. And also there's the biggest point is the economy. Whom would people vote in?
Okay.
I mean, that's one case.
Okay. That is something which I would have taken up in the latter part of the conversation. But Aditya, you have been covering Pakistan for a long time. Do Pakistani prime ministers matter when it comes to foreign policy? Do they really make a difference? Pakistani foreign prime ministers?
Karthike, let's be honest and let's be frank. Pakistan doesn't have a foreign policy. Pakistan's foreign policy is two-pronged. One is India and one is Kashmir. So, on a lighter note, I'll say today that Pakistanis have two, days to mark, on two important events to mark on 5th August now. One is the abrogation of 370 that happened in Kashmir that changed the course of history. And second is Imran Khan being convicted, arrested in a most embarrassing manner and declared a dishonest man. So, Pakistan should forget Kashmir. Pakistan should forget, increasingly using terrorism as their policy against India.
I think, Aditya, are you there with me? I think Aditya is not there with me. Aditya, please complete.
Yeah. So the reality of the matter is that Pakistan should, actually invest in itself, invest in its people, because we know the kind of economic crisis that it has gone into in the last 2 years. The new government that is in power, the coalition government, doesn't have the bandwidth or the capacity to bring them out of it. There have been loans that have been granted to them by China, by others. But the reality is that Pakistan is crumbling right now. It's crumbling economically. It's crumbling, as a matter of fact, when security is concerned. The TTP, which had negotiations in play when Taliban took over Afghanistan, is attacking them. In fact, TTP came up with statistics saying that in the last 6 months, there have been over 100 attacks by TTP in Pakistan, in which more than 200 people have been killed. And most of those 200 are Pakistani security forces. And let's not only talk about TTP or Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and the areas around Afghanistan, but let's also talk about Balochistan, where the attacks have increased manifold. The BLA, the Baloch Liberation Army, and other separatist groups are continuously attacking the frontier corps and the Pakistani army there. So the Pakistan army is facing its worst nightmare right now. Many people often ask me, recently a Pakistani journalist, Arzu Kazmi, was interviewing me. So she asked me that, what about Kashmir? I think Kashmir is last of their concerns right now. The biggest concern for the new Pakistan Army Chief, Asim Munir, is to restore order in Pakistan. And I think Imran Khan's arrest is moving into that direction in the playbook of Pakistan Army. They've arrested Imran Khan. They will set him inside the prison. So the PTI chapter will be over for now, at least. And now they will actually encourage elections. Election Commission will be active. These political parties, including Bilawal Bhutto's party, the PMLN of Nawaz Sharif and Shahbaz Sharif, of course, the far right and the extremist JUI and others will be active. And we will see elections in the next few months to take place. Whether we'll see again, Nawaz Sharif as the Prime Minister and Bilawal Bhutto's party in the opposition is something that would be interesting. And perhaps we'll see provincial elections also taking place in the provinces of Pakistan.
I was just going through the couple of data points, and one thing I would like to ask you before other guests join. Can you just tell me what is it for India before I start getting into it? What is it for India? Nawaz Sharif is coming back. Imran Khan is out. As an Indian, what should I look out for such a big change in my neighboring country? Because neighbors cannot be changed. You don't get to change your neighbors. So Xi Jinping happened. so many things changed for us. The general in Myanmar came, so many things changed for us. Mahinda Rajapaksa came, things changed for us. Ranil Wickremesinghe came again, things changed for us. What will be changing for us, Aditya? Can you just take us through? And then I go back to Pankaj.
Well, the best thing that India did in 2019 after the Balakot strike, and before that, of course, the Pulwama attack took place, is that India stopped focusing on Pakistan. The Pakistan policy of India shaped, and there was a dramatic U-turn and a paradigm shift in the policy. The new policy said that we will not react to statements coming from Pakistan. Even recently, Nawaz Sharif came out with a statement that we are ready for talks with India, but India does not care. India has often mentioned time and again, be it Atal Bihari Vajpayee or Manmohan Singh and now Prime Minister Narendra Modi, that we will talk with you. We are ready for talks process. But terrorism and talks cannot go hand in hand. You cannot have a bloodbath happening in the Kashmir Valley or other parts of India from Pakistani terrorists like Jaish-e-Mohammed, Lashkar-e-Toiba and others. And at the other hand, you have a handshake moment during BRICS or SAARC or other multilateral forums. So as of now, I feel, Kartike, that Pakistan is crumbling. India does not bother. Apart from the security scenario, which has also decreased drastically, infiltration is at its lowest. In Kashmir, terror attacks are at its lowest if you compare the statistics. So India does not bother. Of course, their counter-terror grid will be strong. Indian army and security forces are taking care of it. But Pakistan internally is facing its worst challenge in the last 70 years.
Okay. Atif Shehzad Shahi joins us. A very warm welcome to you. Am I audible to you? Can you please unmute yourself? Can you please unmute yourself? Unmute.
Yes. Sorry. Can you repeat?
हाँ ठीक है आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही थी. Now your voice is coming.
Okay. Now. Okay. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir. Atif, you're very much audible. Your first response on the developments that have taken place in Pakistan.
Yes. In a major development, PTI chairman Imran Khan is arrested today, and right now he is being transported to Islamabad from Lahore, and because of bad weather in Islamabad, he is being transported by road. So it was expected that decision because for many in Pakistan they think it was an open and shut case because he misused his power. According to the judge Humayun Dilawar, Session Court judge, he convicted him, and he says that he misused his premiership to sell and buy gifts, and which worth 140 million Pakistani rupees, and the amount which he had to deposit, he didn't deposit that amount, and so that was that linked to corrupt practices. So law should be the same for everyone. So that is why he is being jailed for 3 years and fined with rupees 1 lakh as well. Because that case basically it is being rolling over from 1 year, and now it was expected because previously when he was arrested, so there was some protest, but this time the situation is a bit different because the 9th May, after the 9th May, so what happened with the protesters particularly, so now we can't see so much protest right now in Islamabad and other cities. In some cities, particularly in KPK, there are some protests are being reported, but these protests are not so violent as compared with the previous arrest. So, now the PTI spokesperson, he also issued a statement by saying that it is basically, it is not a decision which is a fair decision, rather it is a political victimization, and because elections are around the corner, so Imran Khan is being convicted through just for political victimization, and so that the grounds should be prepared that he should not contest the election.
Aditya was telling us that it also shows that the army is the boss. But I'll take my question ask my question in a different way. The arrest of Imran Khan and return of Nawaz Sharif, is it history replaying itself in Pakistan, or do you see a Nawaz Sharif 3.0 version? Because that's the third time. This is the third rehabilitation which Mr. Sharif will get. A Nawaz 3.0 version playing itself.
Uh, you see, if you go through the history of Pakistan, particularly political history, these were the things which were done by Imran Khan as well. When he came into power almost 5 years ago, then his opponent Nawaz Sharif, he was convicted and he was later he went abroad. And same allegations were leveled against Imran Khan that case against Nawaz Sharif was not like a corruption case. It was rather a political victimization and to make premier that these decisions were given. Uh, and now, yes, a bit similar situation in that sense that now Imran Khan is being convicted now, and Nawaz Sharif soon, as many expect in Pakistan, that after new Chief Justice Justice Qazi Faiz Isa, he took the charge, he takes the charge, then maybe Nawaz Sharif comes to Pakistan, and then ground will be set for him for his election campaign. But yes, but situation is bit different in as well, because now at this particular time, PTI chairman is still popular among youth. Maybe Nawaz Sharif was also popular at that time, but maybe not so much popular as compared with Imran Khan, because still he enjoys popularity. Although his opponents are as well, and like PDM supporters, they are his opponents. But that is still, it is not it will not be easy to win elections for PDM. Maybe, and that's why many believe in Pakistan that election will be delayed.
Okay, Pankaj. Before I go to Aditya, did you think 2 months ago that this is the fate, this is the destiny which awaits Imran Khan? Was it apparent?
Well, see, with his exit, that midnight drama that happened in the parliament, almost a year back when he was thrown out of power, that was the time when the writing was on the wall. But barring that, I think it was the statistics, what you mentioned earlier, that this has happened with so many prime ministers in Pakistan, and that it was almost certain that Imran Khan is also going the same route again and again. But with his comeback, the kind of the drama that we saw unfolding, PTI members showing their strength and support on the streets of Islamabad to Lahore, that was something that showed the presence, the heft of Imran Khan there in Pakistan. But again, once again, as you can run, but you can never hide. This time around, Imran Khan choosing to stay put, but the law has caught up against with him. And what happens from here? And I would like to pick up both Aditya and Asif's brain here, that क्या ये आर्मी के लिए भी एक suitable ground बनता जा रहा है to take over once again? Because who are the players right now? Imran Khan is out of action. Say PTI would file someone else. Then we have PMLN. Then we have PPP. All those players, once again, an early election, what would happen on the streets? Could army once again, get into the through the cracks here? If that happens, Kartikeya, Aditya, Asif, then that's a cause of concern for the neighbors.
Okay, Aditya, why don't you answer that? Why don't you answer that? If you agree with Pankaj, or even if you disagree with Pankaj.
Well, Kartikeya, in an ideal situation, it would have happened because it has happened in the past. Every time there's been a political turmoil, the army has said, "Okay, you guys, fight amongst yourselves, and we'll be the boss." And we have always been the boss, but now we'll be in the front door. And this time around, however, we'll have to realize that Pakistan is facing its worst economic crisis. Pakistan is facing a massive security challenge. At a time, there is this double, dual problem of security and economic affairs. I don't think Pakistan Army will take the responsibility for that. So as of now, the ground is certainly not clear for the Pakistan Army to take over. Also, we have a comparatively new Pakistan Army chief, Asim Munir, who of course has been close to Bajwa, who has faced again embarrassment in the past when he was removed by Imran Khan when he was the Prime Minister. So this is also a sweet revenge in multiple forms coming from the Pakistan Army, from the Pakistan Army chief, and certainly Bajwa would be smiling as of now. It was the Pakistan Army who had placed Imran Khan in the top seat, and it is the Pakistan Army which has broken Imran Khan now and taken him inside the prison. I agree with Atif where he says that the youth of Pakistan, there's a massive support for Imran Khan, and it would be certainly difficult and a challenge to carry forward without Imran Khan. But I don't think anything is difficult for the Pakistan Army. They don't care about norms. They don't care about principles or laws. The laws are defined by the Pakistan Army. Let's remember that. So the Pakistan Army, I think, is very much clear in their head, especially after the events that happened, I think, on 9th of May, when, of course, there was massive rebellion against the Pakistan Army. There were protests, there was arson, there was rioting, and embarrassing visuals of GHQ Rawalpindi being breached, ISI headquarters being breached, and in almost all the provinces of Pakistan. So I think Pakistan Army's playbook is very clear. We want revenge, and we want it at a time and place of our own choosing. They have arrested Imran Khan, and they have shown to the Pakistani public who's the boss. And now they will be declaring elections in due course. And finally, perhaps, as many say, Nawaz Sharif as the Prime Minister. Whether this will happen later this year or early next year is something that we'll watch out for. But I think a major roadblock for the Pakistan Army is very much off now. Last time around, when Imran Khan was being arrested, we saw massive protests twice. We saw arson. This time around, as of now, situation seems to be clear. I don't see any kind of reports of arson, rioting or protests. But we'll have to, next 48 hours, we'll have to observe closely what happens in Pakistan, whether there will be a rebellion. Because let's remember, Kartikeya, that most of the senior leaders of Imran Khan have also quit the party under pressure. So there isn't anyone to take the crowds forward into that mode. Last time, the top leadership of PTI was guiding them. And perhaps it was a strategy by the Pakistan Army also that let them riot, let them arson. We'll respond to them at a time and place of our choosing. Unfortunately, the status of Pakistan, the state of Pakistan remains the same. There's no democracy. It is the GHQ Rawalpindi calling the shots. It is an autocratic regime in many ways. And of course, it is some puppet or the other who comes into play. Yesterday, it was Imran Khan. Before that, Nawaz Sharif. And perhaps this is the re-entry of Nawaz Sharif Khan.
You know, Atif was saying that Awam ki hero abhi Imran Khan hai. Well, yes. Before we further get into the discussion, let's play out the bite of Imran Khan. Akash, please play that bite out.
मेरे पाकिस्तानियों, जब तक ये पैगाम आप तक पहुंचेगा, मुझे ये अरेस्ट कर चुके होंगे और मैं जेल में होऊंगा। तो मेरी आपसे सिर्फ एक ही रिक्वेस्ट है, अपील है कि आपने घरों में चुप करके नहीं बैठना। मैं ये जो जदोजहद कर रहा हूँ, ये अपनी ज़ात के लिए नहीं कर रहा, ये अपनी कौम के लिए कर रहा हूँ, आपके लिए कर रहा हूँ, आपके बच्चों के मुस्तकबिल के लिए कर रहा हूँ। अगर आप अपने हकूक़ के लिए नहीं खड़े होंगे, आप ग़ुलामों की ज़िंदगी गुजारेंगे, और ग़ुलामों की कोई ज़िंदगी नहीं होती। ग़ुलाम ऐसे होते हैं जैसे चूंटियाँ ज़मीन पे होती हैं, उनके ऊपर परवाज़ नहीं होती। और ये बड़ी ख्वाब का नाम था पाकिस्तान। नारा था ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह। पाकिस्तान का मतलब क्या? कि हम कोई इंसान के सामने नहीं झुकते। ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह इंसान की ग़ुलामी से हमें आज़ाद करता है। और हमारे नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने अपनी मदीना की रियासत में सबसे पहले इंसानों को आज़ाद किया था अदल और इंसाफ दे के। ये है जंग इंसाफ की, आपके हकूक़ की, आपकी आज़ादी की। और कभी भी याद रखें, कोई आज़ादी प्लेट में रख के नहीं देता। जिस तरह मैं कहता हूँ, जंजीरें गिरती नहीं हैं, तोड़नी पड़ती हैं। पुरअमन एहतजाज आपने करते रहना है जब तक कि आपको आपका हक नहीं मिलता। और वो सबसे बड़ा फंडामेंटल राइट है, वोट के ज़रिए अपनी हुकूमत मुंतखब करना। ना तो किसी और कोई कब्ज़ा ग्रुप इस मुल्क के ऊपर कब्ज़ा करके बैठ जाए जो आज कब्ज़ा करके बैठा हुआ है।
Atif, your comments on the statement he made.
Well, you see, I don't see so much protest if now, as of now, as compared, as I already told you, as compared with the previous one. So, if you say that people, are particularly youth, which follows Imran Khan, they are organizing protests. So it's not the case right now. But the other option, another instruction which he given that vote him. So that is still something which they can do. But see, but yet it has to be so much difficulty for PTI and PTI supporters now, because elections are around the corner, but many don't see elections in 3 months. So if elections are delayed, then it will not be easy for Chairman PTI. And you see, because last time when he was arrested, so they couldn't keep him for 2 or 3 days. But now he is being transported by road. So last time it was not possible to move him for 5 or 6 kilometers. So now
Chief, that is logistics. Aditya really made one very good point. Aditya, you can ask the question, but can I take some? I just absorbed a very important point. You see, economy is an issue which everyone knows. In terms of the pressure which there is on the Pakistan's economy. But even in context of Durand Line, even the Taliban 2.0 version has not cooperated with Pakistan in defining that border. Despite Pakistan trying to suggest to them, ki, let's have stabilize the border, this Taliban regime has not done that. In this context, Pakistan is importing the old horse, Nawaz Sharif. Can he really take on the challenge of Pakistan to stabilize the economy, stabilize foreign policy, stabilize its perception abroad globally, create entrepreneurship in the country, to provide a solid ground to the middle class? I mean, so look at the difference. It's not a childlike comparison. The middle class in India, middle class in Pakistan, middle class in India is big, very complex, and multi-layered. So can he does that? Is that guy up to that challenge?
Well, you see, sorry, you asking me? Are you asking me? Okay.
Yes.
You see, we have to go through the previous tenure of PMLN. You see, when Nawaz Sharif was Prime Minister her time, so in his 5 years of time, when his tenure was ended, the GDP growth rate was almost 6.3%. So it was a good percentage at that time. But when Imran Khan, and the same thing, many believe still in Pakistan that it was Imran Khan was not necessarily at that time. He was just bring to power to victimize Nawaz Sharif, because at that time Nawaz Sharif didn't enjoy good relation with the establishment. So Nawaz Sharif is an experienced, seasoned politician, and in his 3 tenures, yes, whenever he comes, economy in Pakistan boost to some extent. So when Imran Khan came into power, now that is another thing. He is popular. He is popular among youth. But look what he delivered in his 3.5 years. He was like an internee prime minister. He didn't know much about governance. He just knew cricket and some charity work. So when he came to power,
what did you say? Charity word.
Charity work and fund.
Charity work. Okay.
Sorry. Charity funds collecting and running a hospital, but running a country is something else. So he didn't know much about the economy. So that is why he took very bad decisions, like exports were being decreased. He didn't pay much attention to that. And during COVID,
are you saying that Imran Khan's tenure? So Imran Khan was a failure in context of economy?
Yes, of course, he was a failure. And you see, if you go to establishment version, why he was ousted from power? Because he proved failed. it is a proven fact. He was brought by establishment to power, but establishment accepted that it was a bad experiment, and he was failed in boosting economy because uh, you see it happens. Initially, they use the platform of establishment, then they think that no, I am much wiser than establishment, and now I am an independent person. So he took many decisions, and uh, lately with General Bajwa, he disagreed on many policy decisions as well. And the major point is that industry was destroyed in his tenure, and similarly exports were decreased, and similarly GDP was decreased as compared with 6% when he took power. So it was decreased to 3%, 2% in his 3.5 year tenure. But the thing, his voters are blind. Now, why he is popular? It is not because he has delivered much. He is popular because of that cricket glamour, and that his supporters are blind, and the narrative which he's very good at building narratives.
Okay,
Like
okay.
he built narrative that
Aditya
everyone
wanted
else
to
is
come in.
asleep.
एक मिनट, Aditya bhai, Aditya wanted to come in, but you use the word supporters are blind. In politics, supporters are blind. It's not something specific to Pakistan. Globally, supporters are blind. Look at Trump's presidency. Supporters are blind. In social media, they don't like criticism, but he has supporters, and that is something important. Aditya, you wanted to come in?
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree with Atif
Okay.
that Imran Khan has had a very playboy image, and cricket, legendary cricketer that he was, credit where it is due. He became a larger than life figure, and that has continued over the years. Nobody in the Pakistan has come close to the kind of international fame that Imran Khan got, and he capitalized that in politics. He capitalized that with relations with the Taliban, or opening the biggest cancer hospital and continuing that. So the image of charity, helped in politics as well. But today we'll have to realize that Imran Khan has been disqualified from politics for the next 5 years. Now the biggest question is, what happens to Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf? Will Pakistan Army agree to let it flourish, let it, campaign for the votes against PMLN and other political parties of Pakistan? Will they ban PTI for the kind of developments that happened a few weeks ago, in which Pakistan Army said that PTI leaders were involved and PTI workers actually torched Lahore Corps Commander's house and the GHQ Rawalpindi. So as of now, there are two options. Either they ban PTI and don't allow them to flourish politically, or second, there is a very interesting man called Shah Mahmood Qureshi, who has been in almost all political parties of Pakistan. If because his ambitions are also to become the prime minister, he also wants to create a new narrative. He was almost, always the second man to Imran Khan. He wasn't given the same kind of stature as Imran Khan ever, even if he was a foreign minister. So we'll have to wait and watch how things unfold. He has been quiet for quite some time, Qureshi. He hasn't come as vociferously in support of Imran Khan as one would have expected as of now. So whether PTI will be banned, whether PTI will see a transformation and a new avatar under Qureshi, because he will now lead the political party after Imran Khan is gone, is something interesting to be observed in the next few weeks.
But Aditya, before I go back to Pankaj and before I go back to Atif, one thing is there in my mind. Pakistan has had a Punjabi prime minister, they had a Sindhi prime minister, they had a Pathan prime minister, Pakhtunkhwa, and in last 10 years, NWFP became Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and we all understand why that region is very, very important, because before partition, the Indian boundary met with the Afghan boundary. That Ahmad Shah Abdali, that empire which was carved, was the greater Afghanistan, which is the sore point for Pakistan today. There was no Pakistan, it was India, and then you had Afghanistan. So only prime minister you have not heard from the Baluchistan. That's the only place which the prime minister has not come. So my question to you is, in this context, with Nawaz Sharif coming back and the sort of a drop trip which Prime Minister made, if you recall, in his first tenure from West Asia, when he dropped at the behest of Nawaz Sharif, his relationship with the army, went haywire. Now his brother has been making those comments in context of a sort of a dialogue. Do you think it's part of the process, or is it's just emanating from the Sharif family? You understand this better, you know?
Karthike, I in fact met Nawaz Sharif when he came to India in 2014 to attend the swearing-in ceremony of Prime Minister Modi, and I asked him, what he actually felt being here after quite some time, when relations weren't the same, and he didn't speak. He went to the lift of the Taj Hotel, and then I said, "Mia Saab, kuch to boliye." So he came back and he gave a shairi at that time, and then it was played out all across television channels. But Karthike, Nawaz Sharif is a businessman. His sons are businessmen, and his approach to politics and leadership in a country is businesslike. So at that time also he wanted talks to take place. He wanted some kind of a bilateral dialogue to take place. But we'll have to understand. Again, yes, Shahbaz Sharif, who's a makeshift kind of a prime minister right now, has offered talks. But Shahbaz Sharif is under a lot of clout, a lot of pressure right now. Economic stability, security, internal turmoil, internal strife with the political parties. So as of now, we'll see elections. And if Nawaz Sharif comes back, yes, Nawaz Sharif will try to have dialogue again with India. He will try to reach out to Prime Minister Modi. And perhaps we might see some positive beginning as well. But Karthike, again, Nawaz Sharif does not have the full control. It is the GHQ Rawalpindi. So all will depend of what the ISI chief or the Pakistan Army chief really mean to do. Yes, I believe that Bajwa...
So my next question to you is, how do you define the current Pakistani Army chief? What is his outlook? Is he different from his predecessor? Because Army chief has created different pathways. Ziaul Haq created a different Pakistan.
It is difficult to gauge, Asim Munir right now because, of course, he's been close to Bajwa. But will he be similar to Bajwa? We'll have to see because he's been focused too much internally right now. Externally, maximum, the first visit that he made to the border was in the first few days when he actually became the Pakistan Army chief. Otherwise, his approach towards Kashmir or India hasn't been very clear as of now. So we'll have to wait and watch. He's a Hafiz, of course. He remembers Quran by heart. He's known as a tough leader by those who know him very close. But we'll have to wait and watch how things unfold. But, one thing that I want to say here is that Bajwa had moved a few inches. He suggested and agreed with the ceasefire that wasn't being, accepted for last many years. There was violence and firing from both sides at the border. The civilians in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and in, Indian Kashmir was suffering continuously in Jammu as well. So ceasefire for the last 3 years has been the biggest achievement of India-Pakistan in the last 20 years. Will that continue? We'll have to wait and watch. Whether Asim Munir will go for a dialogue, we'll have to wait and watch. Because even today, the terrorists of Jaish-e-Mohammed, Lashkar-e-Toiba, Hizbul Mujahideen, Al-Badr are underground in Pakistan. They have safe sanctuary. They have support of the Pakistan ISI and the army. Whether they will continue to flourish, whether they will again give them, training camps, launch pads, and free access to all the resources, and push them again into Kashmir for violence, we'll have to wait and watch. Because let's remember, Karthike, that today is 5th August, the 4th anniversary of Article 370 abrogation, and I see no change in Kashmir. There's no shutdown. There is no hartal. All the shops are open. In fact, I was speaking to a local Kashmiri Muslim in Srinagar who sent me a video from Lal Chowk and said that things are bustling. In fact, a new clock tower has come up. So people in Kashmir are not bothered about Pakistan.
New clock tower has come up?
Yeah, a new clock tower has come up at Lal Chowk. A very beautiful.
I missed it. I was there last year. I think I missed it.
No, it has just been made in the last few weeks.
लगता है मेरा ज़्यादा ध्यान गुश्ताबा और रोगन जोश खाने में था. चीजें देख नहीं रहा था मैं उधर.
Yeah, it looks like a European
but that
market
is why I
now.
missed most of the things.
So
but there is also one thing. Indian prime ministers also shape up a lot of things. Narasimha Rao never interacted. Prime Minister Modi wanted to, but then he took a different position. If you look at Rajiv Gandhi, he wanted to go the way. But if you look at Manmohan Singh, despite wanting and despite creating a ground for a channel 2 where Lamba was his representative, there was almost a breakthrough, but they couldn't carry forward. So what sort of a position do you think Prime Minister Modi will take when India is hurtling towards Lok Sabha elections? Pankaj.
Well, Karthikeya, obviously, vis-a-vis Pakistan, India has never let its either guards or priorities down. So that is one track that keeps, going on, and a close eye is being put on that. Yes, last year, if you mention about Lok Sabha elections, this particular aspect was quite a heated debate because Pulwama had happened just in 2019, of February of 2019, and hence what transpired after that had laid down the foundation of a solid, electioneering that we saw. But speaking of Pakistan, and very quickly, I would like to, draw attention towards our acquaintance, both Atif's and mine. I remember it was 2018, Atif, if you remember, we had first met, and our, तारुफ हमारा इमरान खान के चुनाव को लेकर ही हुआ था. And now 5 years down the line, unfortunately, I guess इमरान खान 2 बार अरेस्ट हो चुके हैं उस बीच में, उस दरमियान, अदरवाइज वो चुनाव की तैयारी कर रहे होते. But nonetheless, see, I mean, there is Pakistan, Imran Khan, who, surged to power by decrying the corrupt practices of Nawaz Sharif. He was the one who actually, took over the reins with the support of the army, definitely. But now going down once again because of corruption charges, obviously, doesn't augur well with him. But as far as the Pakistan's policies are concerned, you mentioned, Karthikeya, about India's concerns and elections. There is two key aspects are happening right now as we speak. One, Pakistan is trying hard to get into the BRICS fold along with Saudi Arabia. Secondly, Pakistan is helping China through back channel talks get Turkey on board for CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Now, these two aspects are primarily based on the economic aspect of the governance. And those are two realities which Pakistan, I don't think, as of now, can afford to miss out on. So for whatever happens in the run-up to the elections here in Pakistan, I think majorly it will be governed on the economic aspect of it. The internal part, as Aditya mentioned, as you also mentioned, and Atif also, that army is there, and Asif Munir, as Aditya mentioned, a general with Qazi approach to it, and has a learned general there. So let's hope so that better sense prevails.
Okay, Atif, when are elections due in Pakistan?
So as I already spoken about that, that maybe election will be delayed. I don't see elections in 3 months or 6 months. Maybe that is why that.
Maybe when? How much delay? How much delay? How much delay?
Well, if I give my personal view or analysis, maybe 1.5 year, maybe.
1.5 years? Are you saying that the elections are going to be delayed by 1.5 years?
Yes. Why I am saying this, because the caretaker setup which is coming, maybe the caretaker prime minister would be from PMLN, Pakistan Muslim League Noon. So I think the PMLN wants this strategy that the caretaker prime minister will be theirs, and they just propagate that basically the caretaker government is the PMLN government, and they will.
Okay. So let me ask you this question.
To provide relief to
for our Indian viewers, because this is something very common, political dynasties. It's all over South Asia. When there was a crisis, the brother came in Nawaz Sharif's party. When there was a crisis, husband stepped in. Now the son is the face. Benazir Bhutto's party. In Nawaz Sharif's party, where do you think, who's the leader? What's the second line? Who are those two people?
You see, you previously asked me that whether Nawaz Sharif can handle this economy or boost that economy.
No, I'm talking about first Imran Khan.
Yes, I just linked that. You are asking about the leadership.
Yes,
that
I'm asking about the leadership. Who will take over that party? Because it can't be a headless party, no?
Yes, Nawaz Sharif will certainly come back. The one part is that, but yes, he will not be the caretaker prime minister. Caretaker prime minister maybe will be from their party.
You're mixing things. You're mixing to the Atif.
Okay. Atif. Okay. Can you repeat? The question? Yes.
My question was, who takes the baton from Imran Khan?
Yes, you see, that is after elections. I'm just telling you that right now, when caretaker setup will come, then it will be makeshift prime minister like Shehbaz Sharif was makeshift prime minister. So another makeshift prime minister will come from maybe from PMLN, but they will take some steps to provide relief to the masses, like maybe they reduce petroleum prices and other steps to just mobilize the message that we are giving the caretaker government is of PDM or PMLN, and they are giving relief so that ground will be set to win the elections. So that is why election may be delayed for 1 or 1.5 year. After that, Nawaz Sharif will come, and when Nawaz Sharif will come, you it will still not easy for Nawaz Sharif to boost the economy, because previously when he came, economy was in better position as compared with now. And many believe in PMLN that that is the foundation were laid down in Imran Khan tenure to destroy the economy. And actually, we are just clearing those all those mines which were installed by Imran Khan to destroy the economy. So in this 1.5 year tenure, the PMLN government they are building this narrative that they just rescued Pakistan because Imran Khan put Pakistan in trouble. So when Nawaz Sharif will come, so maybe it will not be easy, but yes, he may handle the economy to revive, but it will take time. And if he enjoys sports from masses, and obviously right now establishment sport is there, but massive sport is also vital for him, and definitely he enjoys
Okay.
good previous relation
Okay.
with the China and Saudi
Aditya,
as
my
well.
question was, I think, my question was, what happens to the Imran Khan's party? That was my question. What
Well,
is their
Sorry,
future?
that is the
sorry,
biggest question. That was I was saying that
That was the question. The answer came on Nawaz
biggest
Sharif. The question
biggest
sorry.
was,
question
what happens to his supporters?
biggest
What
question is
happens to
what
his
happens to
party?
PTI?
Who are the
Will
leaders?
will
Okay, okay.
PTI be banned?
Actually, I'm not bit audible. So can you repeat again, Imran?
कोई बात नहीं, आप बने रहिए. Let Aditya answer that. Let Aditya answer that.
So, there are multiple options. One straight away, option would have been that Imran Khan is gone. So, we'll have Qureshi take over and he will lead the party and can contest elections. But will Pakistan Army allow that as well? Because it wasn't just Imran Khan, it was the PTI, which Pakistan Army had helped to come into power. And again, it is the PTI that embarrassed the Pakistan Army a few weeks ago. So, multiple options, as I mentioned in my previous answer, are either PTI gets banned by the Pakistan Army through some clause of the government of Pakistan and the constitution under the law, or second, Qureshi takes over the PTI and then contests elections, or Qureshi takes over and transforms this political party in a very different way. Anything could
Yes,
happen.
now I got it.
Perhaps that will be clear in the next few days.
Now you got the question. There's one more thing, Aditya, I'm adding. Al Jazeera is reporting Pakistan election body says it is ready to hold national elections in October if legislative assemblies are dissolved on time. Al Jazeera is
October,
reporting
a month before than what the stipulated time was.
Kartike, before Al Jazeera, I told you that the process has begun, and this is the first step. And now the election body will be active any moment, and elections will take place.
Now I can respond to that because
respond.
Okay, because previously your voice was not audible to me.
Respond, please go ahead.
Yes, it will be a big challenge for PTI that who will be next, because PTI is one man show, that all the support and vote that is of Imran Khan, and he has made his next Shah Mahmood Qureshi, but Shah Mahmood Qureshi does not enjoy so much popularity, but and you see there are some factions of PTI already there, like PTI parliamentarian in KPK, Toshakhana Pakistan Party is also there in Punjab. So these are factions of PTI already there. They will also done some damage, and but for Imran Khan, you see, it is the district and session court which convicted Imran Khan. They will appeal, and still Chief Justice maybe that conviction is lifted over for time being. But maybe again, because in another case he will be convicted, so it is writing on the wall that he will be disqualified. But yes, after that, that is a big question, that if Shah Mahmood Qureshi will lead the election campaign, Uh, can he mobilize the voters? In my view, it will not be easy. It will definitely dent the PTI vote, but right now, if we see that still PTI is the most popular political party in Pakistan, so it will dent that. But how, to what extent it will damage, still you have to see, and how establishment and how PMLN and PDM will handle that, because it is clear that the next tenure will be of PDM or PMLN. So how they will do it, it will not be easy, but yes, in previously they have done it. So in my view, that
But there's
uh,
another bigger question. You see, when we talk about supporters, we are talking about normal people. Aditya, will army bail him out? Will he get to go to Dubai, Riyadh, London, like his predecessor?
As of now, Karthikeya, I don't think so. But in months to come, maybe yes. Because the similar situation happened with Nawaz Sharif as well. I remember, reporting for a different news channel around, 2016 and 2017, when Nawaz Sharif was there, how Nawaz Sharif and his political party had confronted in the national security meeting with the Pakistan army. And there was a revenge. Nawaz Sharif was arrested, he was exiled, and then we saw what happened. But finally, he was allowed to leave. So I think a similar situation might happen with Imran Khan also, because here the tempers are really high, the ego is really high, and there is a revenge that the Pakistan army, the former Pakistan army chief, and the present Pakistan army chief want from Imran Khan. So he will be imprisoned. There will be difficulties created for him, but eventually I think there will be some leniency. And after the elections, when there is some kind of a stable government and economic is restored, then perhaps he might be set abroad.
Okay, let us play out that bite of Imran Khan once more. Once more. What Imran Khan said before his arrest, that dramatic bite which he recorded. Let's play out that bite.
तो वही नस्ताइन मेरे पाकिस्तानियों, जब तक ये पैगाम आप तक पहुंचेगा, मुझे ये अरेस्ट कर चुके होंगे और मैं जेल में होऊंगा। तो मेरी आपसे सिर्फ एक ही रिक्वेस्ट है, अपील है कि आपने घरों में चुप करके नहीं बैठना। मैं ये जो जदोजहद कर रहा हूँ, ये अपनी ज़ात के लिए नहीं कर रहा, ये अपनी कौम के लिए कर रहा हूँ, आपके लिए कर रहा हूँ, आपके बच्चों के मुस्तकबिल के लिए कर रहा हूँ। अगर आप अपने हकूक़ के लिए नहीं खड़े होंगे, आप ग़ुलामों की ज़िंदगी गुजारेंगे, और ग़ुलामों की कोई ज़िंदगी नहीं होती। ग़ुलाम ऐसे होते हैं जैसे चूंटियाँ ज़मीन पे होती हैं, उनके ऊपर परवाज़ नहीं होती। और ये बड़ी ख्वाब का नाम था पाकिस्तान, नारा था ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह। पाकिस्तान का मतलब क्या कि हम कोई इंसान के सामने नहीं झुकते। ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह इंसान की ग़ुलामी से हमें आज़ाद करता है। और हमारे नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने अपनी मदीना की रियासत में सबसे पहले इंसानों को आज़ाद किया था अदल और इंसाफ दे के। ये है जंग इंसाफ की, आपके हकूक़ की, आपकी आज़ादी की। और कभी भी याद रखें, कोई आज़ादी प्लेट में रख के नहीं देता। जिस तरह मैं कहता हूँ, जंजीरें गिरती नहीं हैं, तोड़नी पड़ती हैं। पुरअमन एहतजाज आपने करते रहना है जब तक कि आपको आपका हक नहीं मिलता। और वो सबसे बड़ा फंडामेंटल राइट है, वोट के ज़रिए अपनी हुकूमत मुंतखब करना, ना तो किसी और कोई कब्ज़ा ग्रुप इस मुल्क के ऊपर कब्ज़ा करके बैठ जाए जो आज कब्ज़ा करके बैठा हुआ है।
So, Pankaj, do you think that he's going to get a chance?
Yes, Karthikeya, I wanted to actually have a go on that particular topic, what happens to Imran Khan. Before that, I think you rightly mentioned the fate of PTI would be deciding what happens to Imran Khan, because so long as he is in jail, as of now, I believe, Atif bhai, agar main galat nahi bol raha hu, to he has been taken to Kot Lakhpat jail in Lahore, the same jail where Sarabjit, the name that the world knows now by now, was being imprisoned. So,
no, not Lakhpat jail. He's being transported to
Islamabad. Yes, that's what I was picking it up from both the places, that he is on his way to Islamabad also. So, as far as The fate of PTI is concerned, that is one promising thing, what important thing that is going to happen. Secondly, Imran Khan, I don't think is going to spend all the 3 years in jail. Like, he might be, as the trend has been, bailed out, but only after the demise of his party and allowed to live in exile. It could be in the West Asia, it could be in the UK, where we have seen most of the Pakistani prime ministers and several other exiled ministers have found refuge. Having said that, I think Yusra Aksari is also there, who has joined us. But one final word that I would like to make, Kartikeya, here point is that Imran Khan, I would say, has been unlucky in this regard. This is a prime minister that we are talking about, which had everything on his side. He came with a rousing number into the power in 2018, had the support also. The kind of protest we saw during his first arrest was also something which Pakistan had not seen before. What went wrong, obviously, is what Atif mentioned, that he could not rise up to the occasion.
What went wrong, thank you. Yusra Aksari also joins us, senior journalist from Pakistan. Yusra, when do you think that Imran Khan actually crossed the red line? When it became the writing on the wall, when people in Pakistan thought, ये गड़बड़ बात होगी, उस रास्ते चल वापस नहीं आ सकते अभी. Can you please unmute yourself? Can you please, Yusra, can you please unmute yourself? Can you please unmute yourself? Yeah.
I am unmuted.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think Imran Khan per se, it's not what the people think. More so, I think when you turn against a kingmaker in Pakistan is when you cross that red line. And I really think that the 9th of May was that breaking of that red line, where beyond that, I don't think he could have returned to the foray of their support. And I think that evident crossing of time and that passage of time of the last, say, 2 to 3 months has shown that the PTI has fallen into absolute doldrums. There have been multiple arrests. People have been held in captivity for months upon months. The bail applications pending for multitudes of weeks without any respite in sight. So the kingmakers are evidently not going to weaken their stance with regard to the PTI. How the PTI, minus Imran Khan, minus their leader, so to say, bounces back, will Shah Mahmood Qureshi be able to deliver where Imran Khan leaves off? One will have to wait and watch. But what we do know, that political uncertainty, economic duress is likely to progress in Pakistan and multiply over the next couple of weeks till we have some kind of clarity with regard to our political and democratic process.
Yusra, do you think that the elections can take place on time in Pakistan? Al Jazeera was reporting that election agency is saying that we are ready for polls. So I just quoted Al Jazeera notification.
What we are hearing is that polls are unlikely to be held on time. We do know that the census is likely to be approved, delimitations will be approved, new delimitations, and that process of realigning the electoral process in Pakistan may take another few months. That could translate into longer than a year, one is hearing. But at the moment, we do know that the interim setup will be here for possibly more than 90 days, as we believe at the moment.
So when you're talking about the interim setup, and before you came, we had discussed certain aspects of return of Nawaz Sharif, people getting second chance in politics. Do you think that, like Nawaz Sharif, Benazir Bhutto, will Imran Khan get a second chance? All of them got a second chance.
I think that second chance will only come if Mr. Khan is willing to enter into a reaccord with the so-called kingmakers. And once he realigns or forms a new realignment with them, is possibly only when he can bounce back into electoral politics. At the moment, what we do see, his stance is unbending. Will that change over the next couple of weeks? Will there be a realignment? Will there be new party alliances? Will there be new coalitions? One will again have to wait and watch. But at the moment, it seems difficult that that second chance is likely to come anytime soon.
Atish, can we say that some element of the Pakistani politics has been irretrievably changed by Imran Khan? Like we say that, Rajiv Gandhi changed this aspect of politics in India. Narasimha Rao changed this aspect of politics in India. Modi has changed this. Manmohan Singh changed that. Do you think Imran Khan has changed certain aspect of politics in Pakistan, like Ziaullah
Yes,
did in 80s as the
yes,
general?
yes, he has changed many things like mobilization of youth, particularly, and similarly, the middle class. How he took active. Middle class was never active, so active in politics as compared with previous uh, tenors or previous by political parties. So these are the positive things. But yes, again, as I think Aditya was saying that he was a cricketer and he didn't have much experience of governance. So where he lacked, he was learning the thing, but not. But because he is egoistic person, so because rather than focusing on economy and governance issue, he was focusing more on political victimization and the confrontation with the establishment in his later part of tenure. So these were the things which gone against him, and as my colleague said that 9th May was the deadline, and he didn't realize that particular instruction that will prove so harmful for him. I think he didn't realize, and some colleagues instructed him that don't cross that limit, but he crossed that limit, and now rest is the history.
But you say, why was he so overconfident? When we say don't cross the limit, we know that where limits cannot be crossed. Why was he so overconfident with the army? I mean, so was he underestimating them, or he thought that he could overpower them? Someone has to be. It's like saying, I can win elections against Rajnath Singh, our union cabinet minister in Uttar Pradesh. I cannot, this is like common sense, you know. So, what made him so, for me from Delhi, what made him so overconfident that he can take on the army?
I think he pushed the bar and succeeded many a time over the last couple of years. He pushed the bar and extended that red line, so to say. And I think that
Can
his
you just explain it to our
overconfidence,
viewers back in India when you say push the bars and was
you know, he
successful? Can you just elaborate with some examples?
he contested the army's decision in many, many regards. He contested the establishment's decisions in many, many regards. He pushed the bar, he kind of nudged things. But I think this time his overconfidence got the better of him. And I think the open vandalism on the streets of Pakistan really called for an uproar in the country. People did not take kindly to state institutions being vandalized. I mean, Radio Pakistan, ED ambulances, cheaper ambulances. We sat in our homes watching aghast as to what was playing out on our streets. And when they say a politician thinks they are bigger than the state itself, is where that red line has really been broken. And you cannot come back from there. And you cannot justify how a situation can be defended if you are attacking state institutions. I mean, toll plazas, you name it, everything in Pakistan was taken as a symbol of the army or the establishment. That was not acceptable to the people and more so to the army itself. I don't think they're going to allow him to forget what he did.
So you are saying that army basically drew a red line, and they said this far and no further, and he didn't get it.
I don't think it's just the army. I think that the open vandalism spoke to a number of people across this country. It was not just the army, the establishment. People identified with state resource being destroyed. People identified with infrastructure being destroyed. We're a country struggling economically. We cannot replace and reimburse state infrastructure so easily. So to destroy buses, ambulances, things that we need as a country was actually a point when people stood up and said, sorry, we will not accept this kind of vandalism on our streets. We've seen it before. We cannot allow for ourselves to delve back into another dark hole.
Atif Yusra is giving us a different perspective. At the start point of a conversation, the narrative was that, he has been kicked out by the army, but he had large support. But Yusra is giving us a different perspective. Maybe he's also losing a part of a very urban, sophisticated support in Pakistan of educated people who feel that the institutions, public infrastructure needs to be respected, preserved, not burnt and destroyed for political action or domination of the street.
Yes, she is right. You see, public property was damaged, and Corps Commander House never attacked in Pakistan's history, and similarly, ambulances, Radio Pakistan, everything. But the thing is, I think he was so overconfident that enjoys so much popularity that anything which he does will be defendable, will be accepted by people, and because he is so much popular, so no one can ask him the question. So that is a mindset of dictatorship kind of mindset. I think because of the so much popularity, he was thinking in these lines. So yes, if you are a leader, if you are popular, but still you have to respect the people's interest, the public property, and the point was that he was so much desperate to come into power that when he was ousted, so he said that everything is fair, whether write letter to American Congress members that Pakistan is doing this against the political workers, whether to attack on Court Commander House and everything. But I think he was so much overconfident, but he forget that he was brought to power by establishment, the same establishment which he is attacking now. So that is the thing that is the thing which he needs to concern, and I think now he will realize that he has done blunders. You see, look at the Nawaz Sharif. Nawaz Sharif was in same situation because he was much experienced than Imran Khan. He goes to G2 Road from Islamabad, protested against establishment, but not in the way Imran Khan did. He just addressed the public meetings and used some hard language against army chief, but in code words. But they didn't destroy public property, and he waited in UK. And many followers of PTI believe that Nawaz Sharif is over, but Nawaz Sharif is again alive. So that is the experience does, and Imran Khan, he was a cricketer, egoistic person. He basically believed.
I think there's a disturbance in your line.
Acceptable and defended.
Okay, but there's another, and I'm asking this question in sincerity, not in the light way. Yusra, who does that? Toshakhana ka saman kaun bechta hai? Matlab, I really, when this whole news broke, and I was, I was sitting with my friend and I said, who does that? Yeah, I mean to say, these are basic things. As a prime minister, the stuff goes to where it should be kept. And then my friend told me, he said, no, what about Donald Trump? Didn't he take away the nuclear files? I mean, so when there are exceptions in this planet Earth, Trump can carry away nuclear files, and he can keep them in Mar-a-Lago, adjacent to his bathroom, the most important secrets of the American defense establishment, and he gets away. But the fact of the matter is, who sells this stuff? I don't. Wasn't there any mechanism where someone would have told him, you cannot do that? It belongs to the state.
I think there are evidently mechanisms, there are evidently ways in which things are managed, but there are also loopholes. And living in South Asia, we know those loopholes can be expanded or contracted based on conveniences, based on political alliances, based on camaraderies at a certain time. I think that time of camaraderie gave way. I think that alliance gave way. And when those alliances gave ways, every loophole can be expanded to come into the ambit of questioning. And I think that's exactly what happened with Imran Khan. He might have gotten away with it had he complied with the larger interest of what was done and said. But I think his deviation from those who placed him into power, those who aligned him into power, caused him that damage at that time. But the 9th of May really, really, really did him in. I think those optics are those not to be forgotten in Pakistan's history, because the kind of outflash that the PTI went out doing at that time really created for optics of mistrust across the globe. And I think that had to be undone by the state of Pakistan, by the establishment of Pakistan. And that's exactly what they have done by this political move today.
Do you think he stand a chance to come back? Redemption, repentance, political mainstreaming? A lot of politicians have done that in South Asia. Bangladesh, India, Nepal, Sri Lanka.
As my colleague said, if his overconfidence and his arrogance gives way and he's able to bend and to kind of realign or reacquaint himself with those who mean much in the corridors of power, it might be an option. But if his stance continues to remain the same, if his arrogance gets the better of him continuously, then possibly not. At the moment, the -1 formula is what we see being brought into play, and it has been done successfully in Pakistan many a time. We've seen Altaf Hussain, we've seen Nawaz Sharif being removed from their parties, and once those parties have been removed of their leadership, they're like headless Carter. So you really cannot anticipate for the PTI to gather the kind of support they did with Imran Khan. So one really has to wait and watch what the PTI takes forward in the next few days.
I think that's very beautifully put, because there are political parties in India who have failed to survive in absence of bigger leaders. But there are political parties, you can criticize dynasties, but they survived because there was a succession order in place, and they consolidated themselves to fight another day. And in certain states, the sons have come back to power because the symbol was there. Do you think that Imran's party has any symbol like that?
To be honest, I do not believe so. They do believe. The party is very, very confident that the kind of power that has been held by Imran Khan has kind of tapered or come down towards his political leadership, his first, second tier, and third tier leadership. But in the absence of a spearheading force, so to say, I would shudder to say that the PTI has been somewhat rendered rudderless at the time. How the new leadership, how the new top tier will take forward the political strategy, whether it's Shah Mahmood Qureshi, Asad Umar, Hamad Azhar, Zulfikar Bukhari, who will be the next kind of man or men in charge, one will have to wait and watch.
Atif, can you tell us, Pakistani media se kaise cover kar raha? How are they covering it? What is the media narrative? Can you just tell us about that? Because media narrative is also a reflection of a type of truths.
I think Pakistani media is covering the same way, like in India they cover BJP. Sorry, too. That is on lighter mode. That they are following the state policy, and most of the media outlets they are not giving much coverage to PTI narrative. Rather, they are giving more coverage to PDM or establishment's version. But yet there are some TV channels which sports.
But there's a difference,
like
BJP is.
if I name it like ARY, previously I worked with it.
I don't want to make it to a 2-2 match, because this is not News9 is not a 2-2 match like other TV channels. BJP is elected to power. Pakistani army is not elected to power. There lies the difference.
I think Godi media is a term introduced by Indians, not by me.
I'm not saying that. It's not a 2-2 match. I invited you to my show. I have invited you to show. And I don't invite guests to my show to fight with them. I'm just saying there's a difference. One is elected, one stays there permanently. Yusraji, tell me, what is the narrative? How is it being covered in the press?
In social media, yes. In social media, they are giving coverage in social media. But I am talking about mainstream media. But still there are some.
Atif, my question was not that. I was asking how is vernacular in English media covering it in context of position, in context of who can come back to power, in context of what has happened. That was my question.
Yes. But as I said earlier, that most of the mainstream media, TV channels, they are saying that it was writing on the walls, and whosoever he is involved in the corrupt practices, he should bring it into law. But still, there are some TV channels which are giving support to PTI, like I name it ARY. I previously worked with ARY. They are still giving coverage to Imran Khan version, although not in the same extent previously in which they were supporting. But yet there are some TV channels. Why? But why ARY is giving support? I know that because they are giving coverage because they think that majority of people they still support Imran Khan. That is not the thing that they are doing it neutrally. These are the things to get advertisement and viewership. But yes, most of the TV channels, particularly mainstream TV channels like Geo, like Sama, like Dunya TV, they are saying that whatever is happened, that was fair, that was a fair trial, and because he was proven guilty, because he sold state gifts worth 140 million rupees, so it is proved. So yes, whosoever does that, he should be jailed.
Yusraji, your understanding of the the way this event is being covered, how do you see that?
I think after the 9th of May, the news channels are concentrating more in terms of reportage rather than analysis. There is analysis in the late night shows, but as situation is developing, the reportage is more factual and based on the events as they're transpiring. Because at the moment, let's be very fair, even the media, even with its multiple sources and multiple kind of corridors and avenues of power that they may lurk, really don't know what's going to happen. Everyone is holding those cards very close to their heart. And I think at the moment, analysis for any one of us would be premature. That is a similar tone that our media has adopted. But what is important to note that nobody, and I would say nobody, is choosing to support the vandalism that played out post 9th of May. And I think people are very consciously standing aside from that strain of aggression and that strain of vandalism and calling it out for being wrong. So I think there is a distinct 360 from the 9th of May, where the outpouring of support was completely like ball to ball. It's now more so bulletin to bulletin. It's now kind of a little less chaotic, a little less more hazardous, a little less, blood pressure inducing. And people are taking it one step at a time rather than, this is the eventuality of Pakistan being played out.
मीडिया को लेकर वो कहते हैं ना, कई चीजें अलग होती हैं पंकज, पर कुछ चीजें सेम होती हैं. तो मुझे लगता है कि कई चीजें अलग होती हैं पाकिस्तान इंडिया में, पर मीडिया को लेकर
ये चीज
सेम हो जाती हैं. So thank you so much, Yusraji. Thank you so much, Atif, for joining me. Pankaj, thank you so much for making time on such on a day which you're not supposed to be on air with me. But you don't get to pick your neighbors, and that is why it was an effort on our part on News9 to make a coverage which is understandable to the viewers of South Asia, to have a context to it, so that people have an understanding of the background of what the Toshakhana case was about, and to also have sort of a understanding of how it is being covered, the options with the Nawaz Sharif has now in front of him when he's coming back, and the options which Imran Khan will have. And a lot of people in India will definitely ask the question, will Imran Khan get a second chance the way previous prime ministers have got, like Benazir got, Nawaz Sharif got. So on this note, I thank you, all of you, for joining me on this show. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.